Hi, welcome to Happy Hippies. I'm Jazzy. These are my assistants. This is part 3 of making bead and wire ornaments. Materials we use throughout this 3-part series are various sizes of beads, jewelry wire, and thin wire. I used 26 gauge. I also used bells, charms, and bows to top things off. Tools I used are pliers, wire cutters, and chopsticks. You can also just use a pencil. For this design, I will be using leaf beads and red beads. If you do not have leaf-shaped beads, the next chapter will be an alternative design. Add your leaf bead facing away from you. Twist the wire forward, turning the leaf. Wrap the wire behind the leaf. Repeat. I add a red bead, another leaf bead. I add another red bead, loop it into place, and continue with more leaf beads. About halfway through, I realized I didn't have enough wire, but was too committed to give up. So here you have a string of holly. Okay, this time I had enough wire. Pull the two ends of wire together and twist. For this design, I used round red beads and these tri-point beads. I cut my wire a little bit longer than the size of wreath that I want. I start by making a loop. This isn't necessary, I just find it easier so that all my beads do not fall off. I add 8 green beads and 2 red. I bend the second red one down and loop the wire around it. 10 green. I add 2 more red, this time bending that last red bead up. I continue the pattern. You can break up the monotony of the pattern by adding more or less of the green beads in between the red ones. When you have the desired size of wreath that you want, or you run out of wire, wrap the two ends together. You can leave it like this, or finish it off with a little bow. For this design, you will want both thick and thin wire. Make a loop, make a circular shape with the wire, and wrap the other end on the loop. Pull the wire down into an oval shape from the center. Make a small teardrop shape at the bottom. Twist to hold it in place. Bend the large oval into a triangular shape. You can bend the bottom teardrop into a triangular shape too if you wish. Take your thin wire and wrap it around the triangle several times. Cut about 1 inch of extra wire from that wrap. Remove the thin wire and wrap one end around the bottom of your little loop. Begin decorating the little wire. I used tiny green beads. I add a small round bead and more little ones. I throw in little beads of a different color to act as lights. I continue this pattern, bending the wire in zigzags, trying to keep track of where the ornaments will roughly go. When you're satisfied with the amount of zigzags, take the end of the wire and make a loop. Make sure the loop is not tight. This is only to hold the beads on while you wrap your string of beads. Make sure there's a little bit of extra space for the beads to move around. Go back to the top. Pull your string of beads through the triangle. Pull it tight. Loop the wire around the thick wire and run it through the triangle again. This will hold the beads tight. Continue all the way down. Repeat until you get down to one of the corners. Remove the little loop you made on the thin wire. Remove or add as many beads as you need so that the string of beads lines up with the corner. Wrap the remainder of the little wire around the corner. And here you have a Christmas tree. Make a loop, add 2 beads, bend your wire in a triangle shape. Bend your wire. Add 2 more beads. Bend your wire back down, wrap it around the center spot. Add 2 more beads and do the same thing. Do this 2 more times. After you've made your star shape, pull the wire through the knot in the center. Pull the wire straight down. You'll get something that looks like this. After making your star, add beads. These beads will be the tree trunk. So add beads until you have the height of tree that you want. Bend the wire back up and wrap it around the previous bead. Begin adding beads. You'll probably want to pick one base color and some round beads of different colors. The round beads will act as your ornaments on the tree. As you add your beads, bend the wire in a spiral shape around the trunk. When you're satisfied with the amount of spirals around the trunk, take the wire and wrap it underneath the star. If you have any extra wire, just cut and tuck it. And now you have a spiral tree. This is